Hey, this is from Band of Gypsies. It's Who Knows, and BOG is what they call it. I listened to this record maybe 400 times when I was a teenager. It still boggles my mind how great Hendrix played on this particular night. Hey, so let's talk about some of the sounds today. Roger Mayer's invention, the Octavia, how it was invented, what it was like. But first, I'm just going to play a minute with some new pedals that get these Hendrix sounds. I've put together sort of a Band of Gypsies pedalboard palette, almost. This is the Gypsy Vibe 2 from Pedal Pawn. I get addicted to stuff like this. Listen to this out-of-tune wobble. Now this is the Pedal Pawn Octone. Every phrase is so unique and so different. You could spend a lifetime just learning all of the things off of this one concert. This is the Gypsy Vibe 2 from Pedal Pawn. I'll talk about this in a second. Very robust, updated version of his Univibe. But first I want to talk about the Octavia. Now this is the Pedal Pawn Octone. I'm using this today. And I've used an Octavia a lot in my guitar life. It's one of the most expressive sounds there is because of the squawk. It's so... I mean, when you use double stops, when you use your fingers, it's so expressive. There were times when I would take a guitar solo, and for the last 8 bars, let's say it's a 32-bar guitar solo, the last 8 bars, I'd step on the Octavia because it gave it a last level of expression, you know, dial up to 15 expression. So the story about the Octavia is pretty amazing. I just want to blast through it for a second. Roger Mayer created an effect for Jimi Hendrix. Roger Mayer was creating guitar boxes for guitar players in the mid-60s. He was a really brilliant engineer. Easy for him to make guitar pedals. He made Hendrix a frequency doubler, basically a radio handbook frequency doubler. And he paired that with a Helios mic pre because it didn't have enough gain. And Helios mic pre's were at the studio where Hendrix was recording our Electric Ladyland. So that's why you end up hearing the Octavia for the first time on Purple Haze and Fire. It was the combination of this frequency doubler and the Helios mic pre. And Roger Mayer then combined those circuits to make the original Octavia pedals, which he did not mass produce. I've got to give him credit. He was so busy doing other stuff, he just didn't care enough to mass produce these pedals. He just made a few select custom pedals for a few guitar players, and he actually became Hendrix's guitar tech, which is really cool. So Hendrix called the Octavia the Octavio. This is a good reissue. These are still available on Reverb. They're expensive. They'll probably get more expensive. This, I'm so lucky to have. I bought this in the early 80s from Bob Bradshaw. The story behind this is that Noel Redding took an Octavia pedal to get fixed, and Dirk Schubert from Tycho Brahe copied the schematic when he was fixing it and released his own version, and even took the name from Roger Mayer. So this was a direct clone, like 99.9% clone of the original Roger Mayer Octavia, and it sounds great. You can see in one of Chris's videos how great this sounds. So Roger Mayer eventually started making pedals, but this is the one that's considered the Holy Grail, and it does sound amazing, and it's based on Roger's circuit. So I'm going to play a little bit and show you the Gypsy Vibe. Now I'll turn off the Octone and just use a more traditional gain pedal, in this case the Karma ODR10. So this is a faithful recreation of the Univibe, and I had a Univibe when I was a teenager. Unfortunately, it broke within about 3 months. I got the unit, I got the pedal, was super excited, best day of my life. Very disappointed when it broke because there was not anybody in Albuquerque, New Mexico who could really fix it, so I just lost interest. This comes with an expression pedal. This is a very lightweight pedal. It looks like a crybaby, but it's very lightweight, and it allows you to control this knob, the speed. It also has a resting position that's basically a cancel position, which gives you the preamp. This has a boost in it. This preamp actually is a little louder than the original signal. The trick with these is not to expect too much. You get the sound that's right for you. It's usually somewhere with not the most intensity, not the fastest speed. And you just enjoy the undulating kind of wind in the trees sound. Now, this is cool too, the vibrato. Very musical in an odd way. But once again, it's very tricky. You have to set it just right. So it just has a little bit of modulation. I have it set not too intensely, and it's a really neat effect. The trick with a pedal like this is you really do have to be careful not to overdo it. Get it just to the right spot. It's really cool. Anyway, Chris at Pedal Pond is a really good guitar player, and when you watch his videos, it just gets more legitimate the more you watch. So that's what I found. I was kind of did a deep dive after he sent me these, and he's the real deal. It's a good small company. The idea with an Octavia a lot of the time is to set it with the boost all the way off. I mean, on 0. This knob's on 0, and then if you want more gain, use a gain pedal that's after it. That's exactly what I'm doing now. If I turn the gain pedal off, which in this case is the Karma ODR10 Karma pedal, that is just the Pedal Pond Octone. And rather than change the nature of this gain stage here, I just step on a boost pedal that's chained after it, stacking pedals. I'll step on 2 boost pedals. This sounds good when you turn the boost up too. Let me do it. Let me do it just once. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I have to say, I like it with the boost on 0 and then pulling gain from pedals that are later in the chain, stacking pedals. I get addicted to stuff like this. Listen to this out of tune wobble.